weaken the knees from the Bitcoin roller coaster, 3 cryptos I'm currently watching, and we'll take a look at today in history, way back. I'm Kyle G, and this is Crypto, Future of Finance. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is March 26, 2021, and it's been quite the week. So let's take a look at Bitcoin really quick. Take a look at the chart. This is a 12-hour chart, okay? So looking at the bigger picture, it's always good to look at the longer time frames to kind of take a step back and look at where we were and where we are now. Because if you focus in on these drops in prices, it's going to scare you. And when you get scared, you start to panic sell. You don't want to do that. So look what happens. The price surges up and it starts to form a pattern. Okay, each pattern is not the same. It depends on the time frame you're looking at. But it surges up. It starts to range, and then here it broke out, retested. So this resistance became support right here. So here's your old support and resistance. So now this resistance became support, and it moved higher. And it bounced off of this line here. It created this really weird triangle or pennant. Broke out of the pennant. It retraced. And then it continued to move higher. And this is where we are right now. So this is a descending channel that it's forming. And a descending channel, there are averages. And in a descending channel here, you've got a 68% chance that it's going to break higher. Now, it could break out of this pattern and go lower, but the odds are is that it's going to eventually break out of this pattern. So here you have resistance. It touches, it touches, it touches, it touches. So this is your resistance. This is your resistance trend line. This is your support trend line. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Now we could get another move to this resistance level and then drop down and then break out, or we could break out around here. Either way, we're looking at a move. When it breaks out, we want to look at these price levels here. So this is a previous resistance and support level, this 57,800 level. So we want it to move above that level and reattempt to break the all-time high at that 61.7 level here. And then the next move would be about 64.5, more of like a psychological level, but also making your measured move to about here. And then the next major move would be to 68 and then 70. But again, looking back in time, how it moves up and it goes sideways or retraces a little bit, then up. Here's a retrace right here, then up, then a retrace into this pattern, and then it moves up and it moves up. So whenever it retraces or pulls back, these are buying opportunities. And you use your other indicators down here. So that's a stochastic RSI. It's down in the oversold territory. It's got to move very soon. Looking at the MACD, it's down here at the bottom and it's starting to round out and curve out. Just like here. Curves, starts moving up, and here we have the curve, it starts moving up. So what's driving this price right here, this price drop? Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is working just fine. The network is secure. People are buying and trading just fine. But what's happening is that major financial institutions, high net worth individuals, are shaking the tree. That's all they're doing. They're manipulating the market. It takes a lot more money to move the market. You know, they'll sell off on one exchange and then they'll buy the dip on another exchange. But this is all they're doing. People who have weak hands, the sheep, are panic selling, which causes the price to drop even further. So if we go back to the chart and we look, it causes the price to drop further. See how this trend is going down? So they buy up and then they shake the tree. And they buy and they shake the tree. And they buy and they shake the tree. And they buy and they shake the tree. They just do it over and over again. So don't have weak hands. You know, don't be a sheep. Don't follow the herd. When you understand what's happening, it's a lot easier to become a wolf. You know, don't be a sheep. Be a wolf. Wolves I think, are better. Don't be a sheep. Don't be led by one herder. You have no idea where they're leading you. I mean, you might be content, but you're not going to be a wolf. And being a wolf is how you get ahead. Being a wolf is knowing what's going on in the environment, what's going on in the market, being aware. When people are fearful, it causes the price to drop, and the wolves swoop in and they gobble up all the crypto at a lower price, the crypto that the sheep just panic sold. So how do they do this? They do this with news. When people don't understand something, you know, they fear it. But once you understand what's happening, you don't fear anymore. And you can make clear decisions. And people will make really weird excuses or they come up with really crazy explanations. You may or may not have heard of what's going on in the Suez Canal. So a few days ago, a captain was piloting a ship, a female captain, one of the first female captains ever to pilot this cargo ship. We don't know what's going on, what happened. The ship was doing some really, really weird things out in the ocean. It was going in circles and it was not behaving normally. So we've yet to figure out what's going on. But this cargo ship, one of the largest, is blocking the entire Suez Canal. And it's preventing cargo from getting through. It's pretty crazy. I mean, here's another view. But there are people out there blaming this on a price drop in Bitcoin. This has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Now, it can affect the stock market. It can affect the commodities market, depending on what is on this ship. But it has nothing to do with Bitcoin itself. Yet, people, they hear the word market and they correlate certain phrases and they start panic selling. So, don't be a sheep. Do not follow the herd. All right, so here are 3 cryptos that I'm currently watching. The first one is KOTI, C-O-T-I. This is a 12-hour chart. And here you have the different patterns that have been created over the last several months and their breakouts. And this is the pattern that we're currently in. And then this is the overall pattern that's being created. And this is an ascending broadening wedge. These ascending broadening wedges, this is where you see huge gains. When you're looking at this from a larger time frame, if you focus in on what's going on now, we've got a descending channel. So what we're doing is we're looking for a breakout out of this channel. Now this may come down right here to the lower trend line. This would be resistance, and then break out. So potentially somewhere in this area here, and then looking for a breakout here around the 34-35 cent mark, somewhere around in there. And if it does that, then we're looking for a move to the upper end of this broadening wedge. So this upper trend line up here. I mean, we're talking, 65 cents. Now, if you go way back in time when this first project launched, it was well over $1. So the all-time high is like $1.20 or something like that. So there's a lot of upside on this one here. So we're looking for a breakout, moving up out of this descending channel to around 44 cents. And then here are your targets over here. So 49.5, 52 cents. And if it continues higher, we could see, like I say, up to the upper trend line. The next one is KCS. KCS is an exchange coin, very similar to BTR for Bitrue, or the Tiger Cash for Coin Tiger, or BNB for Binance. Most exchanges have their own exchange coin, and there's utility for these currencies, these coins. So again, 12-hour chart. So we have a smaller triangle down here, which it broke out of. We came up to about $7, and we're currently retracing, and now we're going into this sideways channel here. This is just accumulation. People are trying to buy up as much as they can before it breaks out, and we've got this larger triangle here, and we're looking for a breakout somewhere around in here. So if it breaks out somewhere around the $5 level, then these are your targets. Your previous all-time high is at 7, and then we'd be looking for a move above 7, all the way up to about $10 up here. But again, these are the resistance levels. A lot of these are psychological. People like round numbers. So, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9. So expect a lot of sell orders, which would create resistance, would push the price down. So these are good places to take some profits. If you've got $100, just to make things easy, maybe you sell off $20 or 20% here, and you take another 20%, another 20%, and so on and so forth. That could be a good strategy because you never know when it's going to pull back. We again don't have a crystal ball. The analysis that we're doing is providing a strategy so you know how to react to the market and let the price action tell you what to do. So on this 12-hour chart, we've got a bullish cross down on the stochastic RSI. We would need volume, just like we have a lot of sales volume here. We would need a lot of volume to push that price up. So a lot of volume with a bullish scenario here, and we're looking kind of bullish on the MACD. If we get some volume, we'll push up above this sideways channel here and out of this larger triangle, and then start making our way higher into the $8, $9, $10 range. So the last one is SXP. SXP is a DeFi coin, or decentralized finance. They got a lot of cool things going on. But again, we're looking at an upward trend over time. This is a 12-hour, and this is an ascending channel. Okay, at some point, we're going to see a break out of this channel. Okay, so 68% chance that it breaks to the downside because it's an ascending channel. But it's going to stay in this pattern until it breaks out. So again, this is not a crystal ball. You let the price action tell you, what to do. So we're currently in a descending channel right here. We're looking for a breakout right here, right around the $3.10, $3.20 level. If it breaks out of this channel, we're looking for a move to this upper trend line right up here, which is going to be $4.50 to $4.60 mark. And then it could bounce off of that resistance and then come back down here, or it could break out. So we had a little fake out breakout right here. It's possible that it could break out up to this level, up to about the $5 mark, and then come back in, or continue higher with a big blow off top. We might get a parabolic type of a curve. But again, let the price action tell you what to do. All right, so a little bit of crypto history. So in the first year, when Bitcoin was created, there wasn't a whole lot going on. It was mostly just people who were fans of cryptography, and they were sending Bitcoin back and forth as a hobby, and just it was interesting, something new. New little toy. Oh, neat. We can send something that looks like money and it's electronic. But really not a whole lot going on. But in March of 2010, that's when the thought of exchanging on a wider basis and value started becoming attached to it. There was a person who tried to auction off 10,000 Bitcoin for $50. But there wasn't a buyer. And then later that month, the very first crypto exchange was opened up. That was bitcoinmarket.com. And that was on the 17th. The price of Bitcoin when it opened was 0.003 cents per Bitcoin. That's 0.03 of a penny per Bitcoin in March of 2010. And here we are 11 years later, 11 years later, and we are well over $50,000. That is a huge, huge difference. From 0.003 to the current price right now, as I'm recording this video, $54,528. The market cap, total money in Bitcoin right now, is over $1 trillion. $1 trillion. The 24-hour volume in trading is 53.795 billion. Just think about that. And think about where we're headed. It's not going to stop. We're going to have these little pullbacks. There are going to be market cycles where we go a year where the price is really not doing a lot, where it's going down. But when you look at the big picture, it's like real estate. Over time, real estate just continues to go up and up in price. Well, that's going to be it for this week. I hope you have learned some things. I hope you have a better perspective on the overall market, and be aware that when things happen in the financial markets, they happen for a reason. And if you understand those reasons, there's no cause for you to be fearful. You just adjust your strategy to protect your assets. So until next week, you guys have a great weekend. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to put comments below the video, or you can message me privately through the group in Facebook. And if you're not part of that group, go check it out. It's Facebook Crypto Future of Finance. Have a good night.